Okay, so it's actually happening. It's daily news time. Alisson arrived into Liverpool late last night. Thank you all for joining me for this daily news show. Yeah, Liverpool are just like, hello, hello, hello. Here we go. Big boys at the big boy table with the big boy suit on. That's Liverpool Football Club. Alisson in Liverpool for a medical now. Rumours of a 2-day medical. Will he be at the Blackburn match later in some capacity? I hope so, because I want to get a glimpse of him and his amazing beard. It's absolutely brilliant news. I think, a world record transfer fee has been accepted by Roma for the goalkeeper. He's cut his holiday short in Sardinia, which is exactly what you want from a potential sign. And he's coming over here to get the medical done. And then he'll be jetting back off to his holiday. And then I think he'll be meeting up with the lads. I can't remember if it's late in the US tour or when they come back, but a potential first game over in Dublin, where we'll be doing a live show the day before. We'll be talking about Alisson, of course, and hopefully we'll be talking about new signing Nabil Fekir, but that's looking a little less likely. So we're going to get into the news run. This is Anfield now. Alisson's arrived in England. Yes, and will undergo his medical on Thursday. Absolutely magnificent from the 25-year-old Brazilian. The 6'4" keeper will return to his holiday after completing the move, and joined up with his new teammates after their tour of the USA. I could have remembered that. When the Reds go to a training camp in France on July the 30th. His debut will therefore be Napoli in Dublin on August the 4th. Man, if you want to see Alisson, get over to Dublin. And the night before, August the 3rd, Murray's Bar, we'll be doing a live show. There's a few tickets still available. It's bit.ly/capital letters this part, RMTV dub. We'll put the link in the description and we'll put it in the comment section. Get your tickets. It promises to be an absolute belter. Look at this. Position, goalkeeper, club, AS Roma. Not for long, hopefully. Nationality, Brazilian, age 25, height, 6'4", sculpted out of Brazilian clay, strengths, shot stopping, distribution, aerial duels. And I'm judging by the fact that there's no weaknesses, that he doesn't have a weakness. I actually did a show on him yesterday. It's on the website now. You can get a subscription for that. It's free for the first month, so if you just want to get in on the last of the transfer action and see what we do when the season starts, when we really ramp up the content, it's a great time to subscribe. I did a 55-minute show on Alisson, fully devoted, everything, all about it, all to him, all of his stats from last season, looking at his expected goals against, looking at his goals against, watched every single goal that he conceded last season. I'll tell you this for free, I don't think he makes a mistake for any one of them. And then I watched every single save that he makes as well. And we analyse him and we look at his key strength. And I'm telling you now, positioning is brilliant. The way that he moves forwards towards the ball rather than across to try and cut angles on shots, it's just natural. The way that he just sort of quickly makes a decision and buries his head and goes for it. One of the subscribers actually commented on the website. It's very similar to how Ederson attacks players when they're running at him. They look up to see where the goalkeeper is, and then they look down again to control the ball and think what they're going to do, and that's when he makes his move. He's out quick as a flash, and that's what you want to see from a goalkeeper. And the big thing for me is that he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And when you're looking for a goalkeeper, yes, you want goalkeepers that can make outstanding reflex saves, and Alisson can certainly do that, but you just don't want them to make mistakes. And I think we're buying a keeper that doesn't make those mistakes, I think. Judging on last season's performances, of course. It's going to be a new world record fee for a goalkeeper, so yeah, brilliant. Love it. We'll have the goalkeeper and the defender one now, and when we buy Dybala and Mbappe, we'll probably break the records again, won't we, lads? One thing from the Daily Mail, Dominic King wrote this, and this one broke last night as well, and it's an article about us agreeing the fee and the medical being today and stuff like that. I've actually highlighted, it's quite far down, so we'll just have a little look at that. Oh, wait there, look at this. Here's Jürgen arriving. I just want to draw your attention to this side. A glum Loris Karius, pictured arriving at Liverpool training. I think that's a bit harsh, to be honest with you. He looks really glum, doesn't he?
Look at the state of that car, though.
I know. And no wonder he can't catch. Look at the way he's holding his steering wheel. That's So, I did highlight it. Maybe not. I thought I'd highlighted it. Okay, so, where is it? Come on. All right, it must be further up than that. Okay. Alisson is almost certain to be Liverpool's last signing of this window. They have already strengthened their midfield by adding Keita from Leipzig, Shaqiri from Stoke, Fabinho from Monaco, but they have not contacted Lyon about Fekir since the deal collapsed on June the 9th. For all the rumours that continue to swirl about forward Fekir, Liverpool have moved on, and the main focus will now be on trimming the squad. When asked if he was going to be active until the final day of the window on August the 9th, Klopp replied, "I don't think so, I don't hope so." So that's a little bit disappointing, but let's remember, a lot of these journalists last week were saying that Danny Ward's going to be given the opportunity to be Liverpool #1 this season, and that we weren't going back in for Alisson. And the way that Liverpool have shut things down since the Virgil van Dijk saga, we're seeming to find out more news from the other countries. Let's not forget a Guinea journalist broke the Keita story. The Italian journalists have been breaking the Alisson news, and nobody really broke the Fabinho news. So it's disappointing, certainly, but let's just hold on and see. A couple more weeks of the transfer window. And then again, yeah, we're back over. Liverpool have not revived their interest in Fekir as they close in on a deal to Alisson. Just not been in contact. Let us know your thoughts to all of this stuff in the comment section below, and we'll get into that. And really, really disappointing news. I'm so gutted about this one. Oxlade-Chamberlain's out for the season as Liverpool reveal extent of multiple ligament injury. And I'm so gutted, yet I'm so proud of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain again for the way that he's conducted himself about this. So Jurgen Klopp is saying that, and this is what's come out, is that Liverpool have known about this since the day after his operation, before the Champions League final, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't want to affect the squad in any way and didn't want them thinking about his injury and stuff like that, so he kept it under wraps, didn't tell anybody in the squad about the extent of his injury, and the coaches and the manager did exactly the same. So well played, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I know you don't watch these videos, or you probably don't watch these videos, but you, sir, are an absolute legend. The fact that you put yourself behind the team, the fact that you put the team before you, absolutely superb. And that's one of the reasons why Liverpool fans have absolutely bought into you. Not just the footballing ability, but the way that you spoke up for Phil Coutinho in that interview. Was it in December or something like that? You're a proper little captain on the field. I absolutely love it. And you back it up. You back it up with big-time performances. And I just hope you come back at the level that you were playing at, because you were tearing it up and you were a star man for Liverpool Football Club. And you're an absolute gent. Absolute gent. So there we go. And one random just rumour, I've not found this backed up anywhere else but Turkish stuff, and this is rousing the cop who we're using here. Liverpool have reported a £20 million bid accepted by Besiktas for Domagoj Vida. I've not heard this anywhere else. I don't put any validity in it. I don't think it's true at the moment, but you know what I did say before, just a minute ago, was we are hearing more and more transfers being broken by sources in those other countries and stuff, so it might be clickbait. It probably is clickbait, but I thought I'd bring it to your attentions anyway. We're going to get into the comments now, so Si, if you've got something, I mean, there must be tons on Alisson, mate.
Not as much as you'd think, to be honest.
I must have just said it so well.
Yeah,
because they just agree with everything I say.
General consensus, so Kyle O'Neill Govendar says, hey, now we get in a number 10 and we're good to go. And there was quite a lot of comments like that, like, yeah, it's great that we're signing Alisson. Now, just the cherry on top of the cake would be signing a number 10.
Mate, this is, that water does look nice, Luke. I really want to try some, but I can't stop speaking to have a drink, unfortunately. What were you saying?
Kyle O'Neill says, hey, get in a number 10 and we're good to go. And then Peter Smith says, report suggesting that Alisson's a fan, which you just covered.
Okay, just talking about the number 10 stuff. Yeah. First of all, I think right now, I agree with you. It would absolutely be the cherry on top. Of course it would be. But this is already one of the best windows I think we've ever had. From not just from a who we've signed perspective, but what we've filled perspective as well. And what we haven't lost, crucially. And I think Jurgen Klopp came out yesterday and said, you know, we've not lost a key player. Ouch if you're Emre Can, by the way. I don't know if anyone mentioned that, but ouch. I mean, you've lost him on a free and your manager's just come out and gone, wasn't a key player, to be honest with you. A little bit gutting on for Emre. But yeah, I mean, you know, the number 10 would be absolutely incredible. The number 10 would win us the league, says Sunday Bunny. And I think the thing for me is, and Jurgen Klopp said this himself, he's been massively impressed with Lallana. Now, the problem with Adam is you know, wonderful footballer, wonderful technician, used to set the press for us, all these things that we used to say about Lallana, but we know his injury problems. If they're behind him, we've got a number 10 there. Do we have the strength and depth in that position? I don't think so. But already, I mean, we've got 2 right backs, we've got 2 left backs, we've got, you know, a couple of good centre halves there. Strength in the midfield is outrageous and the best front 3 in the league. We are back and we are really, really going to be a good side this season, and I just cannot wait for it. Have we got anything on Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain? They're all talking about me. You look mighty parched, Chris, says Matt W.
Joe the LFC says, I feel sorry for Ox. I was really enjoying the football he was playing. I thought he was going to be really good this season before the injury. Hope he recovers well. And Marsley20 says, gutted for Ox. He became one of our best players when most thought he wouldn't even get in the starting 11. I hope he gets back as soon as possible and starts putting in big performances again. Yeah, I think you've echoed everyone's thoughts there, Marzi.
Marzi, spot on, mate. As you so often are on the comments in these videos. Lewis Thomas says, Premier League predictions, Chris. I've said it for a while now. I've said Manchester City first. I've said Liverpool second. I've said Tottenham third. Manchester United fourth. And then I flip-flopped on Chelsea and Arsenal. So I then went to Arsenal 5th and Chelsea 6th because of the lateness that they've done everything with. And the fact that, if they lose Hazard and Courtois as well. And just the fact that they changed the manager so late. I think that's the top 6 for me. I don't even know who's in the league at the bottom half anymore. So I'm not going to guess any of the 3 that are going to go down. Wilson Fish, Chris, after Ox's injury, do you think it'd be a travesty if we didn't have Fekir? Yes, we have Lallana back, but given our luck with injuries in midfield, surely another big name can. I absolutely agree, but we're also in a world where Liverpool have just spent, probably with Alisson, if that deal goes through, 150 plus millions. Can you see them spending 210, 205? I mean, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. But even with the Champions League money, even with the Coutinho money sat there a little bit, it might just be a little bit too much for this Liverpool and this FSG. But yeah, it's one of them, innit?
A blue super chat from Young ZG says, all we need to do now is sell. #Payjack Nudes. And we've had a green one from Rizwan Ali. Thanks, Rizwan. He says, if we don't sign anyone else, do you think that we have enough depth in midfield to not only challenge for the title, but also for the cup competition? Okay,
I'll answer the first one first. So the blue super chat, thank you so much for that one. That question was about, do we need to sell, wasn't it? I think we do. I think you're going to probably be looking at Loris Karius is probably going to go out on a loan deal. I think Simon Mignolet might go out on a permanent deal. Loris Karius, I'll explain my decisions on this one first and foremost. And it was actually something that Ross said to me today. I always thought he'd go out on loan, maybe back to Germany, something like that. But ultimately, I thought he went back on loan. And Ross made a great point to me this morning, actually, when we were having a coffee. And he said, it's kind of win-win if Loris Karius goes out on loan for Liverpool. I don't think you're going to get market value for him now anyway, first and foremost, because of his mistakes and because of the way that he's been quite, hung out to dry, dare I say. But what he can do is he can either go out on loan. His value's not going to drop any, but his value could increase if he turns a corner. And you get him off the books for a year. So I think a loan move is probably good for him. I think Simon Mignolet will want to get out. And I think, fair play. He could be a Premier League keeper for anyone from probably 7th place team down. Maybe not Everton or Burnley, but any of the other sides, I think he's probably up there. So yeah, and then I think you're probably looking at, what's Grujic going to do in Cardiff? I don't think any of the midfielders are going to be going other than that. And then it's maybe just a couple of young kids or something like that. And then you've got the Sturridge question marks. But right now, Sturridge is looking all right to stick around. Rizwan's was about depth in midfield, wasn't it? Not only challenge for title, but also for cup competitions. I think we're going to see massive rotation again this season. We saw it early parts of last season. We saw it whereby, Klopp would rotate so much throughout the season and keep refreshing that midfield. I think we're going to see it again. I think, don't write Jordan Henderson off. Don't write Gini Wijnaldum off. You're going to see Adam Lallana. You're going to see Naby Keita. You're going to see Fabinho. What we might see is a different sort of tactic in the big games. I think we struggled a lot last season in those games against our other big rivals in the Premier League. I think we're going to change it up a little bit against them. So yeah, that's how I think we're going to do it. Michael Nicosa with a green super chat, thank you so much. Redmen TV kept me sane when I moved to the States. A genuine thanks, lads. Appreciate it, mate. Absolutely appreciate it. And everybody who watches this show and keeps us going and comments, honestly, every single one of you. Chris, do you think we'll sign for Keir, given we have just spent big on Alisson, Bishal? Thanks for the question, mate. I hope so, but heart of hearts, probably not. Good squad. Weakest link is Lovren, says TP. Ooh, I don't even think he's the weakest centre half, to be honest with you. But I think what you're probably talking about there, and maybe I'm wrong on this, is you're probably talking about the first 11. And then in that case, I think Lovren's a good player. I think he has turned that corner. I think we all know what his deficiencies are, so I think you're probably right. He probably is. When you look at all the first 11, I would say that that's a potential weakness for us.
We've had another super chat. It was a blue one from Kurt3574, and
Okay.
it's quite an interesting question actually.
Go on.
And it's one that I haven't seen discussed too much by Liverpool fans. Do you think we're overpaying for Alisson?
No. I think when you look at what's the Tompkins time thing called?
50%.
No. The adjusted transfer index or something like that. I can't remember what it is. So Paul Tompkins, an incredible Liverpool writer. He's got a website called the Tompkins Times. It's a subscription website. I pay for a subscription. It's top-notch content, like it really is. He does something called, and he looks at like inflation and stuff like that. Interestingly enough, with inflation, it's about the same price as Blackburn paid for Tim Flowers back in the day, and there's somebody else there as well. And you can see that David De Gea is around that mark. He's probably a little bit more expensive based on inflation of transfers, not inflation of money. But I'm sure that comes into it as well. It's very clever the way that he's done this. I think there's certainly a case that we're overpaying here. Of course there is, but if he sorts out our goalkeeper position, the contract's rumoured to be 6 years, and you think you spread that cost over 6 years, and then you're looking at having your goalkeeper for 12 million a year or something like that, in layman's terms, plus wages, and it's a problem position, and if he sorts it out, we win trophies, sound. I'm sound with that.
No one's talking about the FIFA Van Dijk anymore, are they?
No, that's a great point. Everyone was saying, Van Dijk was too expensive. No one's talking about that. Do you think Vida would start for Liverpool, says Golicka 5000? Probably not, to be honest with you. He plays on that left-hand side, at least for Croatia. I've never watched him when he's played for Besiktas. He plays in Van Dijk's side of the field, so probably not.
Aubrey's been on.
Aubrey!
He said, out of the extra strikers, Ings, Sturridge, Origi, Solanke, who would you prefer to stay?
Ings, Sturridge, Origi, Solanke. Probably personal preference. I'm not saying it's the right decision for the squad. I really like Danny Ings. I love his work rate. I love what he did when he got into the side. He's been so unlucky. But I don't begrudge him wanting to move away because he's not going to get first team football. And he's at an age now where he does need to get that first team football. I really like the flashes of what I've seen of Dom Solanke. He really does seem to suit this side. He really does seem to fit into this side. Divock Origi, I'm not sure what you're going to get from him. I think if it's very short term if we keep Divock Origi, because I think he'll probably give you more goals than Solanke and Ings. Well, he got 7 for Wolfsburg and they got 2 combined last season. And I think Paul made a great point the other day to me. He was talking about how I think Jurgen might just go with a little bit more experience this time, so you can really rely on your squad players, and I think that's why Sturridge will probably stay around, and maybe Divock's got a chance at staying around, because I think they do probably guarantee more goals than Dom Solanke, although I think maybe Dom Solanke in this Liverpool side has a higher ceiling, maybe not as high as Sturridge reached in 13-14. Nice one for the question up. I hope you're all right, mate, anyway. Douglas James, green super chat, thank you. I'm being deadly serious when I say this. We're a defender, a number 10, another striker off being title contenders. I am so buzzed for the new season, mate. We're all buzzed for the new season.
I think we're title contenders with the squad we've got now, to be honest.
What that man said right there. He's exactly right. Liverpool were incredible last season. Liverpool only sort of pipped into the top 4 by 5 points because we had a run in the Champions League. The teams that we were able to get over in that Champions League run, the form that we were in, the goals that we scored, if we can hit the ground running and put some pressure on Manchester City this season, we're absolutely title contenders. We're acting like title contenders as well. This wouldn't be a surprise to anybody. 13-14 was a surprise to people. This won't be, because I believe, have strengthened our squad better than any other team in the Premier League right now. And I'll tell you this, Manchester City had it too easy last season. Manchester City had the league shown up before Christmas, didn't they? If we can put a little bit of pressure on them, yes, they're winners, of course they are. Yes, they've done it before. We've seen that. But they had it easy. What does that team constantly chasing? You're not losing points, putting that pressure on you do. That's what Liverpool need to be this season, and we need to see whether they'll crack under the pressure. Thank you for the blue super chat, Hidden Jal. Chris, can you believe the KSI Logan fight will be pay-per-view? Currently £6. My word. I can, to be honest with you, because they get a lot of viewers. I've not seen any of it, to be honest with you. I know Logan Paul is because of what he did, and I watched the KSI one last time around. Isaac Rebello, do you think Gomez will have a chance to partner Van Dijk at his back? That's what I'm hoping to see tonight at Blackburn. You know, we're going down there for the game. It's a 7:45 kickoff, needlessly late, to be honest with you, for a pre-season friendly in another town. 7:45, yep. 7 o'clock, 7:30, 4 o'clock, the kids are done. Get them in there, whatever, you know what I mean? Madness. But yeah, I really want to see Gomez given an opportunity alongside Virgil van Dijk tonight. I want to see what that kid can do at centre-half. I do think he'll be needed at right-back at stages during the season. He looked really good against Berry at times. Dot Francis, thank you so much for the blue super chat.
Got one from Shiv Lakhani.
Go ahead.
It's an interesting one. What number will Alisson get?
It's not 1, because Karius is 1,
part of me would think it's just hilarious if they just give him the number 1 shirt. It'd be just completely ruthless, wouldn't it? But it'd be funny. You gotta say it'd be funny.
It would be funny. I don't know. I've got no idea. I don't care about the numbers, to be honest with you. People think we overpay for Alisson, whereas City paid 60 million for Mahrez, who isn't going to get in their starting lineup Sunday. That's a good point. I mean, if you use him, pay for him. Chris, do you think Ox will be back at his best next season? Will he have been affected by his injury, says Copite27. I think it'll probably take him at least 6 to 8 months of playing, so maybe that full season to get back up to the level. So 2021 maybe, which sounds mental, doesn't it, when he comes back. 18-19 is obviously going to miss it out, and then he needs to get back up to pace, and that's all about how hard he's worked, you know. So it's going to be a difficult and a long recovery from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, but he seems mentally tough, and he's you know, he's such a likeable lad. Everybody will want him to succeed, and he'll have a great support network around the club from everybody. AOL Meanwood LS7 says Achterberg is our problem. I just don't get this. Achterberg is our problem. Achterberg didn't tell Loris Karius to throw the ball out to Benzema. Achterberg didn't tell Loris Karius to not catch the ball against Samir. And Klopp thinks he's good, and that's good enough for me. But everyone's entitled to opinions, and you know there's a lot of goalkeepers that you could say haven't improved under him. But I think Karius, to be fair, probably did improve apart from his mistakes. Mignolet certainly improved the last full season. It's a difficult one. I mean, if Alisson's crap, get him out of our club. But I just don't think that's the case. Okay, there you go. That's been the Daily News Show today. I've been talking for a good while now. We'll be back later on, of course, with our Blackburn stuff. And there's probably more videos that will be coming out today because we've always got loads of videos that come out on days of the week.
Me and Tom are going to be doing a production podcast on the Redmen TV.
Are you really?
So basically, it's me and Tom just talking about how it works behind the scenes. So if you've got any questions about how we do set up the studio or cameras or editing or any videos that you've seen that you want to ask how they were made or how basically anything that you've ever wondered, there's a tweet on the Redmen Twitter about it. So just put it in the replies to there or put it in the comments here and I'll have a look through. Cool. We'll see if we can chat through them.
The first one was really good as well. This is the second one, so I do recommend going over there and checking that out. And of course, I've got Glenn Price, ESPN journalist for Liverpool, covering Liverpool. In the studio in about half an hour. So we've got an exclusive podcast with him. We'll be talking Fekir, we'll be talking Alisson from a journalist perspective and not fan media. So thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you all soon.